So let's start with a slight recap, because it has been about 2 weeks since our last full group adventure. And so, um, after having saved Otlumel twice, um, Card Guy Kaladin was convicted, or rather accused, of crimes related to the um, goings on in Otlumel. And as the heroes of the town, you were asked to sit on the trial, to which you guys voted to uh, acquit Card Guy of his crimes for the individual events. However, because of the strangeness of the interview when Master Bolivar entered, he decreed that Card Guy needed to be taken to Selenia Keep for further questioning. Um, Upon running into an undead beholder along the way, making it to Selenia Keep, where you guys met with Lucico for the first time. You then got into Selenia Keep, where you met with Master Bolivar, to find out that Card Guy was part of some sort of cult referred to as the New Creations Guild, which is an organization dedicated to restoring Valen and Cercinia both to basically push reset on the world. And it's unknown, as far as the artifacts go, their level of involvement necessarily with the distribution of those, or whether they're creating them. A lot of that information has not been made clear to you. But all you know so far is that this organization is involved in some way. After the interview, you guys got to witness Althor's basically promotion into within the Blades of Radiance, where he was gifted his blade. And in the middle of the night, Card Guy escaped, and you guys made chase after him. After following him through the pass in the mountains, where you guys know that these mountains aren't supposed to have entrances through them. But you made your way through this pass into a little cave, where you found a swirling vortex that transported you to a new realm. It was foggy in grassy terrain, and you found your way to this temple of Valen and Cercinia. And a ball of light spoke to you, dubbing you the heroes of Perseverance, the Light of Perseverance, and offered you power in exchange for help in stopping the reset. At which point you all had your individual sessions, and you all have kind of come to in the middle of this temple, and you look around at each other, and you can tell that what you just experienced is something that everybody else has as well. And you are now here in the Temple of Valen and Cercinia.
Well, that was definitely different. Are you still there? Voice, whatever you are, wherever we call you.
Yes, I am still here. I am pleased to see you all still here.
What's the catch? Your energy's inside of us now. There's got to be some kind of catch to this energy, to this aid you're giving us. You must want something from us.
Are very observant. You know full well that many things in this world do not come for free. However, my desires are in line with yours. You see, this world, as you know, has been reset once before. And obviously, these groups are after something if they're looking to do it again. And so, all I require is your aid in stopping this reset.
Why Valen and Serancenia? Why those gods specifically?
The voice stops, and almost as if in thought. And it says, well, they're moldable. Their power unstable. They're, as far as gods go, it's easy to manipulate them if you know just the right thing to do. And these cults, these groups are well on their way to make these happen.
This is the Temple of Valen and Serancenia. And you say you don't remember a before or after of them. Did you come about due to the combination of those two last time?
I wish that was an answer I had for you. Unfortunately, I don't remember much. Especially as time is different here. There are no days, weeks, months, years like there are for you. This place simply is.
I have two more questions. I know my allies and I have much to discuss, but I have two last questions for you. Sorry, I'm choosing which ones I want. I wrote a whole list down.
Now I have a question.
Yeah, good.
Why us specifically to carry out this work? Why are we the ones that are now tasked with this?
A very fair question indeed. One that I don't necessarily have an answer for myself. Other than, you are here. You have stopped 2 artifacts already. You have surpassed this trial and have been given entry to this place. Quite frankly, you're the only one who's fit the bill to this point.
For 500 years?
Yes?
I want to walk towards the entrance. Because you said that, just to double check, when I look outside, it's like just this vast open blue sky kind of thing? Is that right?
It was when you entered. But as you take a peek out, you actually see that vastlessness has sort of dissipated, and now there's a lush green plains with tall trees scattered about outside the window with a you would imagine the sun shining without actually any visible sun from where you are.
I turn back to the rest of the party. It seems that we're not where we were when we first got here, which is strange to say the least, but did it not remind you of the visions we had back in the Beholder's Cave when we got here? That vast blue sky? I know I can't be the only one that saw that.
It did feel very familiar, yes.
Is this
Anyone
where the
else
god...
have strange
Good.
dreams?
Yes.
To say the least.
Very strange indeed.
Do we physically feel different right now?
You are tired. So you were not asleep in those events that you experienced. It was a psychic exercise, if you will. And so you are considerably tired. But you do still feel empowered. that feeling that occurred when the gold light entered it. You still feel that energy, but your physical body is tired.
Does time move at the same speed as out there for us, or is it possible for us to return moments after we left?
That is the will of this place. It ebbs and flows as it's needed.
My last question before we do anything else is, how does one become a god? We know that that's what they're trying to do. What steps do they have to take to become a god?
Age-old question. There are many ways. Be powerful enough with the right tools and slay one and take their place. I believe some of you are familiar with those stories.
Unfortunately,
There, one can simply garner enough fervor and favor with people, and if people believe enough, it's possible to ascend that way. And there are countless other ways that haven't even been documented yet.
What the voice says is true.
I'm familiar with the killing and the mantle. I was just hoping that maybe the options were a little bit slimmer. That way we might have some idea of what they're after. They've had centuries to plan, and we're supposed to figure this out now. We don't even know how long we have to stop them or how far they are in their plan.
Whenever you are ready to return, we have some information to send you on your way with. While the enemy has certainly made their advances, with the work you've already done, you have put a considerable dent in their plan.
Althor, your master is the one that we came here to find, but it seems like we can take the time we need here without it impeding the flow of time too bad. I'll leave that decision up to you.
Well, while I am worried about my master, we do know how powerful he is. But I'm also concerned because he was chasing, up until this point, what we thought was possibly our only lead in stopping this, or at least getting a hold of this new Creations Guild.
At this point, the light chimes and says, "Those two who ran before you were not permitted entry into this place. Upon stepping into the gate, they were met and promptly turned away. They will be waiting for you at the cave when you are ready to return."
Well, if we can believe this voice, then I think that's good news then.
I think it might be prudent to take some time to unpack what's happened.
I agree.
I believe that's fine as well.
We light a fire. Do we need to do that?
As you guys are kind of going through this, the voice says, "Well, if you would like a better place to discuss, or rather a place to rest your head and gather your thoughts, I do have something I would like to show you." It says, "If you would like, you can leave from this place and head directly north." And with that, as soon as he says that, the voice says that, you get a sense of direction, as if you knew it the whole time. The direction to go.
So do we all follow together?
Yeah.
And for a penny and for a pound.
Let's
Let's go.
And I'm gonna go ahead and pull you all to a new scene in Foundry.
Let's go, dude.
Pull the scene.
Oh.
Epic gamer moment.
Poggers.
Loading 90, 100.
It's so cringe.
Wow.
Not as bad as Ratio, though.
Jesus.
Wow.
Ooh, a church. It's dead.
Same.
So, as you all start to head north, again, as if you've known where to go this whole time, and you get a better look at your surroundings, it is just this plateau, floating, and you see all these other like floating crags, kind of around this area. There is no sun, but it is daytime emulated. And as you walk to the north, you find this gate with this blue energy swirling in it. The light says, whenever you are ready to return after your discussions and figuring out your next move, this gate will take you back to the cave. He says, now, this place has accepted you. And as such, it has given you a home within this place. And in front of you, you see our 6 houses. And in the front, there's a little sign, and there is a distinct house for each person.
How do we get back here once we leave?
I'm glad you asked. All will be revealed before you leave. I want you to focus on one step at a time. You have a lot on your minds at the moment. But there is ensured entrance back here.
I want this one and I got that one.
Figure it out.
I got mine.
Right, actually,
Are they? Oh, let's not.
on the map, they're not in any particular order.
No. I like. Are they? I want to like walk into.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna walk into a random one and peek in, see like if they're all the same or if like they're different anyway.
Yeah. So, well, let me ask you this: which one are you peering into first? Whose house are you barging into?
I'm barging into Anya's house because I think it's fun.
Okay.
Which one it is?
So, you barge into Anya's house, and Anya, are you right behind? Like, are you like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. When you open the door to Anya's house, it is a very sort of lavish mansion. And there's a roaring fire in the fireplace already. Anya, for you, this home seems familiar. It is almost reminiscent of your old home. It is not 100% your old home. You know this. However, the feeling of the nostalgia of your old home is resonating through this building. And what do you do, Anya, at this point? Like, do you go in and like kind of check things out?
Yeah, so I'm assuming like Jaden barged in, I'm like right behind him.
Mhm, yeah,
Like angry at first, like saying, "Hey, what are you?" And then like I walk in and I kind of just like look around, like completely just stop talking.
Mhm.
And then I look at Callum, right? Is that yes, okay.
Yeah.
And I say, "This is almost exactly like my home."
Fancy.
And as you start to walk around, Anya, you find that there are many different pre-made meals in your dining area that appear as if they are completely fresh, like they were just cooked. And they are meals that you would have recognized back in your hometown.
How could this be possible?
I think that the realms of possibility are not what we thought they used to be anymore. I kind of want to look around, and I want to see if I can find evidence of who Anya follows in the house.
Okay.
If there's any, like, hints
Yeah,
or
go ahead
anything
and
like that.
roll an investigation for me.
Since someone doesn't like to share. Investigation. Okay, cool.
Something should best be left alone.
God damn it.
I
11.
can share.
No, I would give you a hard time.
Yeah,
I only got an 11.
Through your investigating, you don't really find anything that would bless you.
Bless you.
That
Thank you.
would tip you off as to who her patron would be.
I'm
I say, oh,
Go ahead, too.
I was gonna just talk to Callum and say like, come, let's go look at the others.
After you.
I'll go into my house. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'll go into mine.
Yep.
Okay.
I want to go into mine
Yeah,
as well. I'm
I'll
very
go through
curious.
everybody's as they are.
Okay.
Now that we kind of
Okay.
get the gist of what's happening here. Althor, in yours, it's very plain. It's very simplistic. There's not a whole lot of things on the walls, other than maybe a couple decorative weapons and shields. But yours does include a sparring room.
Does there happen to be like a closet somewhere?
Yeah.
Can I go open it?
Sure.
And then I'm just gonna like poke my head in there and be like, yeah, that's enough room for me. The closet will be plenty for me.
Yeah. Good.
Seeming satisfied just that I have somewhere to like lay down,
Uh-huh.
you know. Not even worried about a bedroom,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and as you're like walking around, you're noticing like you see like you look into a closet that's like attached to a bedroom, and you're like, ah, perfect. And you move the bed from the bedroom into the closet. But it is
Because, you know,
it is a fully furnished home, and
Okay.
you do have access to a sparring room.
that's good to know in case we ever need that.
Anya's, I also forgot to mention in the kind of scuffle, yours does have like a section of a place of worship, but it doesn't have any very obvious signs on it. But it is there.
Or Callum's just dumb and oblivious.
Yeah.
That also
Um,
works.
Lucico, as you walk into your home, it is a sprawling library. It does still have a kitchen and a bedroom and those sorts of things, but it is littered with books, all kinds. And as you rummage your hand across them, you find that every book that you are running your hands across, you have read before. It also has a like a magic sort of or sorry, no. It's got your library, but it's also got a place for you specifically to kind of look on the magic tome. So it's sectioned out using fantasy Dewey Decimal System. Edwin, your home, believe it or not, is very similar. The difference for you, however, is you have some sort of a sort of magical sparring room. Ones that will, as you cast spells in this area, your energy does not seem to deplete. Allowing you access to practice as you see fit. Rysar, yours, you have no problem navigating your own home. It's very plain as well on the surface. However, as your friends are kind of following along behind you in the house, anytime you close a door, they cannot open them. In many of your rooms, there are plenty of hidden compartments. Couple automatically locking chests. There's even a a sort of like kind of like a mannequin for you to, and it's got things lined in its pockets. Every time you pull something out of it, it appears back where it was, as a means to practice your skills. And Callum, your home is reminiscent of your old workshop. It's got some things. Again, it's not your old workshop,
Right.
but it emanates the feelings of your old workshop.
I just get really like wide-eyed and start like kind of just like fawning over all the tools.
Yeah. So these are your homes, places of rest here.
I'm gonna leave mine and just like stand outside.
Same.
Did we all want to discuss things before going to rest?
I was thinking like that maybe there's like a, I don't know if Billy described it at all, but like an area to sit or something outside,
Yeah,
like a courtyard. I don't
as
know.
you are, you've all kind of gone through your houses and considering what it might mean, or just pure joy that you have a dedicated place to rest your head. Just as you're thinking about meeting back up, a sort of a courtyard appears in the center of your neighborhood, for lack of a better word, as if it was there the whole time, but you know for a fact it wasn't before. But nevertheless, it is there for you now.
The magic in this place is odd. I experienced something similar whenever those orbs of light entered us. It allowed me to change my armor with a thought. And like Callum's armor is now like it's like a darker shade of gray and kind of occasionally crackles with its like magical energy. It helped me make the changes I needed to my armor without having to ever sit down at a workshop or anything like that or gather new materials. My armor just changed with my thoughts. I don't know what we've gotten ourselves into.
Well, that seems like a useful skill for you to have, Callum.
I don't think I can do it all the time, but at least it'll help me in the fights to come.
What
Well,
are
it's
these
just-
fights to come though? What are we expected?
Mhm.
Well, I don't know where we're going, but it seems important that we knew where we've been. I hadn't planned on sharing everything originally, but I think at this time, the time for deceit and secrets has passed. We must all trust each other. I think we're going to have to get it all as much out in the open as we can before we go further.
I'm gonna step up and be like, I agree. We must discuss.
Then let us discuss. I'll go
So
sit
what are
down in
we
the courtyard.
Time for a keynote
what we
speaker.
Is this what we saw in our vision?
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit down. I guess next to Thor.
I'll go over, but I'm not going to sit down. I'll just be standing nearby.
So brooding.
I'm gonna say,
Ooh, I know.
where shall we start?
Do we roll to see who has to go first?
Initiative.
Roll
Roll
for
initiative, I'll go
initiative.
storytelling.
I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
I should start doing that for classes. Be like, all right, everybody, roll for initiative.
Yeah.
You should.
Be
So I
like,
should decide presentation order.
yeah. Be like, shut up, Mr. Hatfield.
But for me, it seemed like I was reliving memories or my past. I showed myself entering my organization and meeting a friend who later turned into a rival, and a little sparring session even at the end as I went through my time in training. And at first I wasn't sure what was going on, and I tried to even change things, and since I knew what was going on, and it all ended on a mountaintop, it seemed, with tumultuous skies and a foreboding feeling as I stood up there. And then on the ground in front of me was my master with two different colored eyes, blue and purple. And I was presented with a choice of doing according to this voice, doing what must be done. And I don't know what the right answer was, but I dismissed my weapon and refused to take action and strike down my master. And then I was brought back to the temple where we all were.
If I may,
Rough
why did
buddy.
you disobey the voice? I'm not judging. I'm curious.
Well, all of a sudden I was on a mountaintop with a voice I still don't fully trust. My master on the ground, and it was telling me to strike him down, it seemed. And I've always been taught that there's an alternative way to do things. You don't have to always resort to violence first. So, I wasn't going to.
I faced something similar, and I have a sense that it sounds like maybe we all were had a trip through our memories with a similar choice. Mine took me back to so early on, to an early memory of watching my father perform on stage, meeting my mentor, reliving those memories, bittersweet as they may be. I feel like it's only fair to let all of you know exactly why I came to Otlumel. I know I told you that I came on behalf of my patron. The patron that I'm serving is Kalimvor, the god of the afterlife. He's the one that has sent me on this task to seek out these items, these artifacts. Some of them are so powerful that they can hide you from the gods themselves, hide you from death. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to stop those items. I was faced with a similar choice that you were faced with on that same mountain peak. I didn't shoot. But
Callum. Oh fuck! I thought you were done. Shit.
No, you're
fuck,
fine. No, it's
sorry.
no, yeah, go ahead. Go.
Ah! Callum. Fuck! I'm sorry.
It's very on brand for Anya. Like it's fine.
Okay. Callum, it seems we have come under similar objectives by our deities. It's time I told you. Fuck, yes. Sorry.
No, sorry.
I never
It's
know when to stop talking.
No, you're fine. It's so hard, like online, because I can't There's enough of a delay. I can't tell like when when someone's intending to speak more or not. So I'm always like, okay, no, go ahead.
Okay. Well, the ending of my dream was not quite the same. I did find myself walking through my childhood to the first memories I have of being contacted by my deity, the Raven Queen. She had chosen me out of several of the young children. Well, I was the only young child for High Elves. Anyways, I was chosen, and I was able to have dreams about her, and this marked me for death, because any other child who had had dreams of the Raven Queen was selected to be the sacrifice to her, for our village needed sacrifice to maintain her protection. I have known this throughout my entire life, and by the time I hit my 100th year was when I was supposed to sacrifice myself. However, the Raven Queen took me into her dimension through dreams and tasked me with this journey to find all of these relics within the land. I went to my death, but I waited for a signal. I'm currently on the run from my people who had been abusing power and for people who could be able to contact the Raven Queen. We were needlessly sacrificed for hundreds of centuries.
It seems that you and I are co-workers in a sense. Then
Yes.
I'm glad to find a kindred spirit. You were all kindred spirits, but I'm glad that there's someone who has experienced somewhat similar experience than I have. But I have to ask, the gods of death, they don't wish to see people die needlessly. How is it your people came to believe that she would want that, to sacrifice innocence?
The acolytes from my village were actually the ones in power, and if another person was able to be an acolyte for the Raven Queen, she would have power again and not be blocked by those other acolytes who are using our village to its evil end. I think Billy could probably explain this a little bit better than I can.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Basically, the too long didn't read version. The acolytes are using the name of the Raven Queen to pin as sacrifices for her to get rid of people who would get in the way.
Yeah.
Very
That's what I
classic,
was trying to say.
old school Roman Catholic
Yum.
Crusades style stuff. So
I'm gonna just end with actually by chance, Olafurst, the reason why I've escaped, he was my sign.
He's a good cat at that, then. Know that I will stand with you if you ever decide to return to face them. I feel like that's what Kellenvor would want me to do.
I do have a question for you, though. What happened on your mountain peak?
My mountain peak?
Yeah,
Or his?
yours. At the
I
end of
don't-
your vision.
I didn't have a mountain peak at the end of my vision, did I?
yeah, it was your.
Oh, yeah, fuck, I remember. Oh no! I shot her!
Oh!
I thought it was good! It was telling
you?
me to, like, save her. I thought I did.
Oh
I
damn.
Well, we don't know what these visions mean at this point.
Because I thought the way that Billy described it was, I think I saw my mother or something, and she was like, I don't remember, but in the situation, I was like, well, I feel like, I don't know, I don't remember what I did actually.
I have a theory on what that means, but I would like to hear the rest of our group's experiences before I make too much conjecture.
I have to go watch my video real quick.
I was literally just about to go pull yours
Be
out.
right back.
I got it, Billy.
Okay,
I can.
because I don't remember what
To
you did. That's
relive.
like a week and a
I
half
don't
ago.
either. I forgot about it.
Hold on.
It's like, what are they talking about?
You ever just want to go relive your trauma?
Oh,
She just
yeah.
wants to hear herself say, "Hello, fellow gamers," over and
I
over and over.
just said hello, fellow gamers.
That is that is quite literally the most traumatizing thing I could think of. It's like a hell that you're doomed to repeat over and over.
The rest of you have been quiet. What happened? What did you experience in there?
Well, it seems like we all had very similar experiences. In my vision, the first part of it, I was back home in Felinora.
Billy, you told me it was an offensive spell.
Yeah.
That's what offensive means. Offensive means a fighting skill, like a killing spell.
Yeah,
To me, that sounds like.
I didn't lead you a certain way. I'm just telling you what it was you were charging.
Offensive, not defensive.
Yep.
Edwin, as you were
Yeah.
saying.
As you were before, you were so rudely interrupted.
Well, the beginning of my vision was back home in Felinora, with my parents, and then basically saw how I met my teacher, who convinced my parents to let me go into magic. And then after that, I saw some of my friends and my very best friend too, and also someone who was opposed to to me during my training, and whose father was my teacher. And then after that, I saw the horrific day where bandits attacked and my teacher was killed, and my very best friend went missing. And then on my mountaintop, I saw my teacher's son, who had always been not the greatest to me. And I was given the choice to strike him with some sort of powerful spell, and I chose not to hit him. And after I did that, I woke up.
That took a lot of strength. I appreciate your choice.
I feel he was always mean to me, but there was no reason to die.
Well,
Before we let Lucico go, has everyone? Sorry, Lucico, I didn't mean to interrupt
no
you.
worries.
Were you guys able to notice the color of the eyes of the person on your mountaintop?
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Mm,
Have they all been the same so far? Purple and blue.
It was here.
mhm.
I am concerned at what that means.
I'll
Okay.
go with you. I've just recalled the last moments of my dream. And I was under the impression that my parents needed help. And so I did shoot an energy at them.
I think my
But
favorite
I-
plot device is Anya misinterpreting what Billy says. like fence.
Well, so I contemplated actually for a while if I was gonna throw it at the like lights, the light orb or whatever. But then I thought that my parents were in need because they were screaming for help. So I thought I was helping them. But anyways,
Well,
Jesus.
well, for my vision, I think I'd like to show you. I'll use my encode thoughts so I can show you what I saw.
Oh,
Ooh.
At the very beginning, I got to see my house, my old cottage, which I was also a citizen of Felinora, just like Edwin here.
Neighbor.
I grew up with only my father. My mother died during childbirth, and he was a drinker. And my vision faded whenever he was going to hit me, as he usually did. And I grew up much older next. I went to the library, and I found an old section that was reserved off. No one was supposed to be there. And I encountered my book. And I'm going to stop showing from here, because I can't really show you exactly what was in the book, because I don't think that would be quite wise yet. But my vision on my mountaintop, I saw my father, and I had my spell, and I struck him down.
Callum just looks at Anya
And I
but
saw.
doesn't say anything.
So you say
I call you're muted.
Lucico.
I just said, can I say faintly back to Callum, like, that's rough, buddy.
Okay, Zuko.
So Lucico, you say you also grew up in Felinora.
Yes.
Have you heard of a woman named Floria?
I have not. I did not know many people. I grew up as a loner, as you probably have guessed. The only
She-
companion I've had, and I'll cap my book on the side, is this.
She was a food vendor in Felinora, and also my mother,
Can you repeat her name?
Floria.
Floria.
Lucico, I will tell you that by chance you might have met her, but due to your general
remember.
nature, you probably do not remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're like, there's a chance I did, but again, most of my childhood I spent reading books instead, until I found this little guy right by my side. I've been sticking with this one ever since.
That just
So-
leaves you.
Oh, so my
Sorry.
turn.
Alright.
It's time to share.
Oh yeah. Really, all I'm comfortable sharing at the moment is that I'm on the run from some fairly, not like very, but fairly powerful people. And up on my mountaintop, I was looking down at kind of the two that really are most influential to me. And when given the choice, I did not strike.
Interesting.
So it seems that of all of us, the only two to strike people down was me and Anya.
But I didn't strike them down. Billy never told me what happened to them.
Let me fill in and clarify. Her spell transformed at the
Okay.
final moments to something else.
Okay. So it's not the same as me really going all in.
No.
Okay.
I do have a question for you though, Rysar. You said you're on the run.
Yes.
Are the people you're running from going to pose a problem on this more important journey we're on currently?
Not for, as far as I know, not for anybody besides myself. But it won't be anything.
Well, you are our friend now.
Yeah.
We are more
did-
than happy to help you, I imagine.
Okay. Well, yeah. As you all know, I'm not necessarily the most patient or tempered of people.
We've noticed.
One of the chairs nearby just catches fire.
There it is. It's fine.
Rysar's house is actually just one big fireplace.
Yeah. It's chill, you know, or actually really hot, but you
Yeah.
know.
He had to make it
Um,
so it doesn't burn down.
You what?
You had to make it out of stone so it doesn't burn down.
Mhm.
Right. So, basically, I was sent from home a fair while back, because I could not control my powers. But rather than going to where my parents instructed me to, I ran. I left.
Fair enough. That's fine. I just was curious if
Yeah. So,
you need immediate help.
No. Yeah, I think we're all good. If anything, it'll just be uncomfortable.
That's been our story so far as a group. Does anyone have anything else they feel necessary to share, or should we try to move on here and get to work on this large task in front of us?
I want to go back to what you were talking about, the color of the eyes,
Yeah.
and what it feels like it's implying. They told us that they're trying to summon the god's power into someone. I'm worried that what the visions were implying is that that person may be someone we know. Maybe not now, but someone we grow to care about. I know
And
that
if we would be willing to do what was necessary to stop the resetting of the world for it.
Exactly.
I hope it doesn't get that far.
I hope so. I hope not either. I feel like Anya probably is a similar boat in the fact that I don't want to take a life unnecessarily. However, I think it's something that we should all be aware of as a possibility. That's why I wanted to know how one becomes a god. I want to know what our options are to stop them. You know, if there's somewhere in that process that we can interrupt it, or maybe have to take drastic measures ourselves.
As you all know, my deity is the Raven Queen, and she is not a typical god. She was created by my people. However, she was stopped in the middle of that spell by other people who wanted to take power from her. So it wasn't complete, and she was banished to her own realm. Shadowfell, I
Mhm.
think. Okay.
Yeah.
And while she is a goddess, she has very limited powers. So there is a way to stop the process.
while we're talking about that, Kalimvor was also a mortal before he became a god. His adventuring party, one of his companions, took over the mantle of the god of the afterlife from Yurgle. I think Yurgle's the name.
Yeah.
His companion was not a kind god of the afterlife, and eventually Kalimvor struck him down to take over his position and transformed the afterlife into a place that is not to be feared unless you were wicked. There's a lot to think about, and I'm hoping that we can use the information from the Raven Queen, Kalimvor, or whichever gods, because I have a feeling that the Valencer and Senia possibly were also mortal before they became gods, and that might be the key to figuring out how to fix all of this.
Well, do we think we should rest and get started? It seems like we have a lot of work to do in front of us, and we'll have a few people to meet us as soon as we step through this portal here.
Agreed.
Let's
I
go,
have-
dude.
I have one last suggestion. Feel
Yeah.
free to say no, but we all have new powers that we just got. It'd be a shame not to try them out.
Lol.
What did you have in mind, Callum?
Well, it seems like we have ample space, and we have all the time in the world. Could always have a sparring matches.
I'll set this one out, but you all can have fun playing.
It's just a suggestion. I'm not saying we have to do it. I know that everyone's anxious to get back. I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Well, I'm assuming my patron wants me to find out the bottom of this whole business with starting a new world, so I'm going to go in my house to rest.
Even though it seems like we have infinite time, I'm personally anxious about getting back to my master. I would love to spar with you, Callum, though, but I might have to take a rain check for today.
That's how it goes. And I'll start going back to my workshop.
I'll go to my closet.
Harry Potter.
Oh, you lived.
No post on Sundays.
So, as you all retire and start to decide to get some rest, the world itself shifts its clock. It is now dim outside, no longer the bright emulation of day. And so as you go into your homes, you all drift off to sleep. And in that sleep, you encounter an actual dream. All of you see this. You see this, the plains in front of you of the realm between. And there you're all standing, looking off against some sort of phased away image that you can't quite make out what it is, but it towers way over you. But as you start to feel this sense of dread and fear, your bodies start to be enveloped in this white and gold light. And then as it completely swallows the image in your dream, you all awake. It is now morning. Or rather, a feeling of morning.
I'm gonna go stand by the portal, ready to go.
I'm gonna do a prayer at my deity stand. I don't know. And then be out eventually.
Edwin's gonna do his 5-minute morning stretch routine and then head out to the.
Well, for Edwin, it's one arm.
I'm going to walk up to Lucico and be, Lucico, what do you use to cast your spells?
Well, my spells and my power comes from this, and I can show him my book, and it'll just look like a plain old leather book with no markings whatsoever on it.
I'm going to take out my tinker's tools, and I'm going to. You'll see him kind of spark, like a spark of energy go from like the top of my armor down my arm and through them, and into the book. So now for today, that the book is an enhanced arcane focus. So you have a +1 bonus to your attack rolls for spells, and you ignore half cover and 3/4 cover with your spell attacks.
Well, you are mighty generous, Callum. Thank you.
I have a feeling y'all are the ones that are going to be doing the damage. I'm just here to make sure you don't get hurt. I figured I should help out where I can. And I'll just walk off and join the rest of the group.
This will be fun, and I have a few more tricks up my sleeve.
As you all make your way to the center portal, this ball of light kind of floats around in front of you guys and goes, well, I trust you all rested well after yesterday's, or what would be yesterday for you in the way you perceive things. The events of prior. I trust your homes were to your liking.
Very cozy.
Very much so.
Excellent.
Nicole.
Now,
Oh,
before you all head back, it is important that I instruct you in kind of what this world is, how to access it later, and some potential leads to send you on your way. I need you all to take a quick look at your arm. And as you all glance at your arm, you see this bracer start to kind of mold itself around your arm. And it's just a thin veil of light. And the voice says, this bracer is what will give you entry to the realm between. So if you all open up your inventory, mechanically, now you can look at the bracers of light. They are an actual item in your...
I mean to roll it.
That's okay. It's in the chat too now.
Billy,
What?
Billy,
What?
it's light armor, Billy.
What?
It's light armor, Billy. It's changing
What?
my AC.
It shouldn't be.
Well, I'm a monk, so it calculates it, so it says I have light armor. So it doesn't
Oh, I
change
thought you were
my
making a joke
AC.
that it's
It-
light
It's light
armor.
armor.
Oh, no, I meant mechanically.
You don't.
Glad
Wait.
we were all on that page together.
I'll just change
Yeah.
it.
What's your AC supposed to be? Oh, 17.
I just changed it back.
It
I was
should-
just making a joke because I noticed it changed
Yeah.
my AC automatically.
It says
And
you
I
don't
was
even
like,
have it equipped.
I know, that's why I was confused too, but my AC was changed.
Hold on.
So-
I can just make this clothing.
Wow. What a real
It's
real
light
MVP.
armor, Billy.
Yeah. I was like, I don't fucking know which one.
I was like,
Just
my
kidding.
AC is
Yeah.
lower.
I was like, it's not supposed to affect AC. That was the whole point. Yeah. So this bracer has it functions like ritual casting, and it takes 5 minutes to use. But basically, so long as nothing is quote unquote blocking your signal, you can come back here whenever you wish. So some of the ways that you if you are in any, you have to be outside. You cannot be in any sort of enclosed structure to use these bracers to come back. Also, if there's any sort of dispelling magic that would take place while the cast is going on, or you break concentration, anything like that, it is not going to let you through. It can also, that signal can also be jammed via a dispelling magic, like AoE sort of spell. More or less, like, you're not going to be able to use this in combat. And it will only transport you. It will not bring other people. So you're not going to be able to grab somebody and drag them to this realm with these bracers. You will also find in your inventory a coin of light. This coin allows wielders of it to communicate with each other mentally. At all times.
Do they have to have it in their hand, or can it be on their person?
Just on their person.
And is it to everybody, or do you like direct it specifically?
It's to everybody. So you
Oh
have a
god,
group-
it's a group text.
Yeah, you have a group. You have a group text, fantasy group text.
Shit.
These are cool though. Excited.
So long as you are currently in possession of that coin, you are able to communicate with each other mentally.
Are there any,
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
are there any like discounts on that, or is it just
You have to be able to. Oh, let me double check and make sure I didn't put anything on the thing. No, there is no distance cap on that. Now, again, you have to have the coin on you. So, if it's missing somewhere, you are not going to be able to use it. Now, only this group, only weird wielders of light, which are you guys,
Weird.
are able to use these items. So, the coin is physical, whereas your bracer is not.
so like in theory, like could some of us stay here and then have people like in the field and then we could communicate with them or something?
Across realms, no.
Okay.
But so long as you are all on the same plane, like one could be in Palfandra while the other is in Frostra, and you would still be able to communicate.
Split the party.
Really split the party. One in each city. And as well with the bracers, the portal puts you back where you were whenever you entered.
Well, shit.
So you're gonna want to be careful about where you choose to.
Don't do it over lava, guys.
My leg.
Well, I was thinking, like-
someone.
I was thinking of like how to escape from a battle. Just be like, see ya, suckers.
Yeah, that's why it's a 5-minute casting time. It is not a get out of battle free situation.
Fast travel away.
Can't fast travel when enemies are nearby.
Yeah. But yes, those are 2 items that you have now. Again, it should not be affecting AC. You might need to unequip it, fix your AC. The whole point was that it was not supposed to, but it did anyway.
I know. I just wanted to make a big hubbub about
No,
it.
I know why you did it. I'm just,
Armor.
Because the second a monk puts on any piece
Yeah,
of
yeah.
armor, he loses all of his AC. So,
Good.
It
Oh,
is not a
really?
fun time.
yeah. yeah.
Can that be a battle strategy? We're fighting a monk. Quick, put the bracer on him.
Make him wear the armor.
Lock that fucker.
Make him wear a helmet, and all of a sudden it's
Yeah.
easier to hit.
Shield through.
Catch.
But yes, it says, I hope that these, this is part of that additional power I mentioned before, and this is the light talking. The more this energy was given to you from the artifacts you liberated from the clutches of Valen and Thersinia. So the more of these you find, the more they will be able to help you in your journeys further down the line.
We appreciate all the
Sweet.
help. I think we have business to attend to. How do
All
we
right.
leave?
I'm just gonna go through the portal, I guess.
Great.
Unless we had-
Yeet.
Let me hop out of this tree.
Riser is just a flaming cat. I've figured out.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Is the tree that he just jumped out of on fire?
No.
Fair question.
Oh, see. I can set things on that I want to set on fire now. It's not just all.
Roll for pyromania.
Yeah. All right, so you all jump through the portal.
Yeah, let's go.
Great.
I'm through.
So, you dive through the portal. This go around, it's a lot less strenuous than your other planar travels. It doesn't feel like you're being stretched and pulled. It feels very natural, almost like you're just walking through a tunnel. And as you exit on the other side of this gate, in this cave, you see Master Bolivar holding Card Guy by the scarf of his shirt, and he is screaming at him. He goes, "What makes you think you can leave us? Why did you run into this cave? What did you expect to find?" And he looks over and he's like, hello. How long have you been there?"
Mere moments. Not very long at all.
Interesting. I thought you guys were following behind.
Well, we were, but we got sidetracked.
I see.
And we ended up in front, so...
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
Wibbly wobbly, tiny one.
Well, we've caught our culprit. Let's take him back to Selenia, and we can talk about your plan of action moving forward. I hope we can work together on some of this Valen and Cercinia nonsense. Now, reminder, you guys did talk to him about this prior to him leaving.
Can I insight check Bolivar
Yeah.
to see if anything's like off?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not good
Check
at
him.
this. I got a 15.
15? Okay. With a 15, you get the impression that he is being sincere. He does want to help. But he is still confused as to how you ended up in front of him.
Okay, I think I did clear. Like I was more like talking about like when we entered. Like was there anything off, or would that seem pretty up front? Like when he was like interrogating Kaladin?
Oh, what you got the impression that he just caught him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, like you walked in on him like tackling him and like holding him by the shirt and like, why did you do this sort of thing.
What makes you think you can leave us? He literally just meant the escaping, not like Bolivar is actually secretly part of the cult as well.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay,
No,
that's
no,
where
no.
my brain is going. So
Yeah,
Sorry.
I was like, oh god.
No. He
That would be
just
interesting.
caught
Okay.
him going through. Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, sus, dude.
Yeah, I got you. I see how I presented that now. No, he.
It's all good.
What you can determine is that the voice spoke true, and if you imagine, like Card Guy ran in, and then Master Bolivar followed, and then whatever happened, they were sent back, but they don't quite seem to remember that part of it, and then you guys came in, on the opposite side of the cave of him. So he's very confused.
I'm sure we can explain how we ended up in front of you on our way back. I feel as though we might not be long in Selenia Keep, as we have other business to attend to at this point.
Yes, that sounds... I'm not going to pretend to understand what it is you're talking about, but hopefully the explanation will shed some light on things.
I want to go ahead and use the coin and just be like, be careful, and telepathically, because we don't have to speak out loud, right?
Nope.
And just be like, be careful what we say. I'm not concerned about Bolivar, but we should not show our hand to the enemy. Because
Smart.
Kaladin's
That's
right there.
smart, yes. I did not think of that at all. So
And he's right there.
Yeah. And so you guys head back to Selenia Keep, and like Bolivar has like a death grip on Kaladin. Not even gonna let him get a chance to leave.
I must spend some kind of spend some kind of story on the way back that we essentially ended up on the shortcut, kind of like we ended up on a separate path through the mountain.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for me a deception with advantage.
Ooh.
Because you're only kind of lying.
18 for a total of 22.
Okay, yeah. He totally believes you. He goes, it is strange that there was even one pass up to the mountain. I would not be surprised if you found a second, faster route. I will admit I was pretty bullheaded in the moment and was dead set on tracking him down within my sights.
These are strange times we live in. Nothing wrong with that.
Alright, we all failed our athletics check, so.
Yeah, we'll leave that.
Yeah,
We'll
I
leave
was
that out of
surprised.
it.
Yeah, that's...
I was surprised whenever we mentioned, oh, we chased after him, and then everyone except for Rysar ate shit.
Oh.
How
Back to good old CK.
Yeah.
how is Card Guy looking? Does he seem
Never do that.
scared? Does he seem annoyed?
Card Guy at this point is he's a little beat up at this point. He's definitely suffered some wounds. You can get the impression there was probably either he also ate shit at some point on the way out, or Bolivar maybe gave him a good what for upon catching him.
Bolivar's just
And we know
Batman.
that he can do
Yeah.
just that.
But yes, otherwise he has the same, like, not quite smug expression, but at this point, like, one is just like, whatever, like, I tried, but it is what it is.
I'm telling you, Bolivar and Althor are just Batman and Robin.
If I don't want to be Robin though, can I be Nightwing?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
that's a little
doing.
more accurate. You got promoted. You were
I got
Robin, you
promoted.
are now
Or now
Yeah,
Nightwing.
I'm grown up a little bit here. Okay?
And yes, you make your way back to the actual the Blades of Radiance, where Card Guy at this point is sent back to the dungeons, but this time he is like restrained completely. No access to his arms or anything.
How do we decide where to go from here? We need to track down more artifacts, but Kalimvor hasn't spoken to me about where they would be anymore. If he can even see them right now. It's, depending on what they are, it's kind of a blind spot for him.
Perhaps we can ask to see if there's been any weird instances. I mean, that's how we found our first two.
That's true. I think that's a good idea.
Ask the Blades, or ask around like the town?
Both, I'm sure. The Blades would know if there's anything that had gone awry in the land. That's how we found out about Otlumel.
I have an idea of a possible another source of information. Do we want to split up and meet back in like an hour in the town square?
That sounds like an efficient use of time.
Sounds good to me.
Pee pee boo boo.
Billy, how do I fix my avatar again?
What's wrong?
I rotated again.
Wait, where are you?
I shift and then scroll.
Oh yeah,
Shift.
Okay.
Shift and then like scroll wheel.
I guess.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Ah,
that better?
wait, no. Ah, oh my god. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
That was me constantly spinning the scroll wheel to fuck with
Yeah.
Justin. All right.
God.
I'm gonna follow. I don't know who's going with where.
Well, I'll go to the Blades of Radiance temple.
I would like to follow him to the Blades.
I'll follow Callum. Wherever he's going.
I think we decided it's over here last time.
I guess. I'm trying to think. I'll go to the Travelers and
Okay.
Guild, since they have a lot of jobs posted, and possibly there might be some investigating something weird.
Okay.
That's also a very efficient move to make. I like that.
Okay. So, Edwin, are you going with Callum and Rysar? Not Callum,
Thanks, Rob, but
Althor.
yeah.
I'm going with Althor to the Blades, yeah.
Okay.
The
Great.
blades.
And then, Rysar, were you following them too?
Random question.
Or what were you doing?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right.
Eric had a question.
Yes.
How do I zoom out on my map? Because I'm super zoomed in right now.
Scroll wheel.
Just zoom out like normal.
I
He
don't,
doesn't have a scroll wheel. I don't think.
Oh.
I don't have a scroll wheel on laptop.
Lab.
Do you have a touch pad?
Yeah, I,
I think
have
you can, like,
this dumb
Do
little
the zoom
pad
out,
here.
zoom in thing.
Yeah, can you do the two fingers up and down?
I'm trying. My mouse cursor's going absolutely nuts, but it's
Yeah.
not doing that. I tried that already.
That's
I'm getting a
good
real
question.
good close.
I do not know.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Quit looking
No.
at like.
Okay,
I know
my
that, like,
well, I
I
tried
know
that too, but I didn't
sometimes
like it.
on like PC trackpads, like the right edge of a trackpad works as a scroll wheel too.
No, it does move my cursor, but it doesn't change the map.
Let me. Page down or numpad minus.
Oh, page down, non-pep. Oh god. Where are you? This is a small keyboard too. Christ.
On the settings little cogwheel,
You
there's a
guys can
controls
find-
reference.
Oh, on Foundry.
Yeah.
Oh.
That might tell you better how to do that.
For your settings. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Maximum frame rate. System settings. You said.
Controls reference was what I was looking at. Because it should tell you what button to use to zoom out.
Yeah, I think I need to zoom out as a whole because I can't see the very bottom of my character sheet and I can't scroll down to see it. So.
Oh. Yeah, I'll do it.
So like, which isn't an issue except it's my charisma stat. So I'd like to see my charisma
Yeah,
stat.
that'd
You
be
can
good for you.
also when you're looking at your character your character sheet. Where did mine go? Hold on. You can click the 3 dots like the menu button, and click pop out, and it makes it its own window that you can maximize and minimize. And you can even drag it off to it. If you have 2 screens, you can actually drag it off to another screen.
Oh dang, that is quite nifty.
That's what I do like when we're playing. That way, I can like see the map and my character sheet and like everyone's videos at the same time.
Okay, well, that will be whenever I'm actually at my desktop. I'll do that. Join the tabs. Okay, or not. Okay, whatever. Okay, I can actually see charisma. Can I scroll down this page? No. Please. 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 Whatever. I'll make do.
Okay.
I'll make do.
Great. So we're gonna start with the 3 going to the blades.
Sounds good.
So you make your way into the Blades of Radiance. This is also the next day. I showed you guys. You guys had already rested, but you guys kind of hung out, kind of continued talking with Master Bolivar, a little bit about kind of like your plans for this day. So you guys come back to talk to them and ask about, well, whatever it is that you plan to ask. Who specifically are you wanting to talk to in the Blades of Radiance? Do you have like, you have like certain contact points for specific jobs within your guild? You could also go talk to Master Bolivar a little bit more, or do you have anything?
I'd like to go I mean, however I was assigned the job, the Otlumel job is who I'm going to go to first.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the job contacts or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, so there's like an offshoot room, and there's quite a few people like working away at some with their quills and they're like a huge stacks of paper, because this is the only like main place of operation for the blades. Everything funnels through here, and so they are currently trying to shuffle through every job within Valencinia that has been commissioned. And so you approach into the room, and they go, Althor, hello. You looking for another job already?
Yeah, but I'm looking for something a little specific. I'm looking for something similar to the strange occurrence that was in Otlumel.
Oh, strange occurrences. Let me see here. And he's looking through his stacks of folders, and another one in the back goes, "Hey, we got that folder over there at the top." And he goes, "Oh, yes." And so he walks over and he pulls out this folder that's got a couple pieces of paper on it. And he says, let's see here. We've got some sort of haunting happening over in Jaffrin to the south. Not a whole lot of information on the job itself, other than people are saying that they have seen a ghost in the area that's messing with people and causing quite an issue.
Are there any other jobs that you guys have? Look specifically with some unexplained occurrence of destructive power, perhaps.
And they're still flipping through, and they go, "Well, there was something about a weird pool of energy near Delcrin. Like spells are kind of going haywire over there, just kind of random stuff. That's kind of weird. But other than those two things, we really don't have anything else on the table."
Right, and then Althor's going to take out a little pad that he keeps inside of his tunic and write down the names of the towns that you said.
Yeah, that was
for-
Jaffrin and Delcrin.
Okay. I'm also going to do that in real life because I already forgot.
Good idea.
And he's just going to nod his head and say thanks and walk out of the room.
Before we walk out of the room, Edwin's gonna kind of go over to him, and he's gonna say, just out of curiosity, has the name Hazana come up at all?
Are you asking the working people?
Right.
And they go, sorry, what was that name again? As they're flipping through.
Hazana.
Man, I don't think so. Are you this a buddy of yours?
Old acquaintance.
I see. No, nothing specifically by that name.
Edwin thanks them for checking, and then he'll follow Althor out.
This is off the table. Is Hazana the halfling wizard? Or is that... Because I have a Hassan Nava in my...
Yeah,
note.
Hazana, yeah.
Hazana, okay, I'll fix it.
And then who else was in there? Rysar, did you have anything you wanted to say to them?
I'm along for it right now,
Okay.
so I'll follow out.
All good. So yeah, that's the information that you guys have gotten. We move over to Lucico. And you walk in, and again, you were in here whenever we first entered Selenia.
Yeah.
And there's somebody new working today, or not like a new person, but new to you. A human man And he goes, "Oh, hello, sir. Anything we can help you with? Looking for any maps or anything of the sort?"
I was wondering if you've heard any jobs about something strange happening on the road dealing with artifacts or anything magical sources.
Hmm. Interesting you ask. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that happen on the road in between these towns. As for specifically artifact based, I'm not 100% sure. Let me look through my the job. And he moves over to the right behind you is this giant billboard of job postings. And he like gets up and he starts looking at it. And he goes, "Well, there was something strange in Frostra, outside of Frostra. Some series of thefts going on in the area. But other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. And these thefts have been some pretty
And
high."
Frostra, do they know what was?
Go ahead.
And what do you know what's being stolen in Frostra?
Apparently some pretty valuable stuff, gems and ornamental weapons and armor and tomes.
Interesting. Okay.
And they're
And that
and
seems
they're
to
all
be the only
things
things
that
involving
are
artifacts.
he goes, they're all things that are normally kept under some pretty hefty watch, from what we understand. So we got a notice here to keep a lookout for it, but other than that, everything seems to be relatively calm on the roads, aside from the normal bandits and the like.
What a coincidence. There's a place that might need our help.
Well, that should be
Crap.
sufficient for now. Thank you.
Huh?
Where did our group say we're all meeting up once we found our information? Was it the town square again?
And now we get to Anya and Callum.
Yay.
The dynamic duo.
We're gonna we're gonna walk up. We're gonna start heading towards the Sable Raven, and before we get there, I'm going to mask a many faces into kind of like a male version of Anya, so I could look like I could be her brother. I'm gonna give her a wink and then walk inside the store.
Okay.
As we walk in, I'm just going to like. Do I see anyone immediately?
Yes. Give me a second.
Okay.
Gotta go to my notes real quick. Sorry. Yeah, you do see a human woman inside, and she is very carefully placing things on the shelves, making sure everything looks nice and neat, perfect for sale.
I walk up to her. "You, woman, I demand to see the owner of this business."
And she looks at you and goes, "Up, I am the owner. We can do this calmly."
"A woman, the leader of this shop? Don't lie to me."
Anya just be in the back going like,
she goes, "I'm sorry, is he with you?" As he points to you, Anya.
unfortunately.
As I say, the resemblance was uncanny. I'm very sorry. Hopefully, you have some better manners. What might you be looking for?
Oh, my brother and I were, and I kind of like look at Callum for him to take the.
I'll drop my mask of many faces at this point.
Oh,
Okay.
fucking hell.
And she goes, "Callum,
Not brother.
is that you?"
It is, Mom. I couldn't resist the opportunity to mess with you a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Callum, ever since you've gotten that that trinket you've always been hard to keep track of.
To be fair, I was hard to keep track of anyways.
Very true. Well, what brings you back to the Sable Raven?
Are we the only ones in the store right now?
Yes, yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't stay long, but I need to know the people that you work with out of the back of the shop, the ones that bring you items to sell. Have they mentioned anything about strange artifacts appearing at all that you know of? Or maybe Father, some of his clients, have they said anything that you know of?
Ah. The only thing I know of is a group came in with a couple books that came from sorry, bouncing from my map. They got some books from Felinora. They mentioned that they were looking for. This group was looking for some really strange novelty item there, but no matter how much they looked, they couldn't find it, and nobody knew much about it. Other than that, apparently there was something weird in Delcrin about spells kind of going haywire. Otherwise, no. There's not a whole lot. Nothing's weird has been brought in.
That's good. Make sure you stay safe. These are interesting times we're in. Don't trust items, magic items that come in here. Make sure you take due caution.
Callum, is everything all right?
Nothing more than when I left. It's pretty much all the same for now. Don't worry, I'm taking care of myself.
Okay,
Let Dad know I stopped by.
I will. I hope your new friend keeps you safe. And then
She walked by.
she walks over to you, Anya, and goes, if you ever need anything, or if Callum causes any trouble, you be sure to let us know.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna give my mom a hug, and I'm gonna try discreetly, like, if she has like a necklace or something on, I want to make it use magical tinkering to make it smell like her favorite flower.
Okay.
Aw.
Go ahead and do a sleight of hand.
What's my slide? And 5.
I guess it'd be still. Oh no.
Oh,
Sleight of hand.
oh
would be
no!
stealth. What'd
I
you
got
roll?
an 8.
She definitely notices, but you know that she noticed, but she says, my favorite flower. You coming home always brings back the fondest memories. Well, take care of
Hope-
yourself.
You too, Mom. And we leave, or I leave.
And I like try to make fun of Callum, be like, "Oh, I met your mom."
Look. I say that, and I just stop, and I just walk off like flustered.
Look,
Love it. All right, and so
Oh,
you
good.
say you guys were meeting back up at the town square.
Mhm.
Okay. So you guys
Yes.
do that. It is about early afternoon at this point. And you guys meet back up in the town square.
As we head back into the town square, are there any like street musicians or anything out and about?
Yeah, there's a couple. Just like a small group playing some pan flutes and lyres, but
Okay.
Name the piece, Billy.
I'll
Clocktown.
walk up. There you go.
remixed.
It's bardcore.
How many of them are there?
3.
I'll flip each of them a gold coin.
I say, very kind of you, sir. The one playing the guitar, since he's not playing a wind instrument.
I just kind of nod and smile and then walk back to wherever.
I didn't peg you as a musician lover, or a music lover, Edwin.
Uh,
A musician lover, that's not what I meant to say at first. Music lover.
It reminds me of somebody.
Same. And I trust that everyone had fruitful endeavors, hopefully.
Fruitful enough.
Yes. So what did you all uncover?
Well, there's seems to be a situation in the town of Delcrin where magic is going haywire, which seems to be more important to me than what seems to be a haunting in the town of Jaffrin. So, if I had to say anything, I would suggest we go to Delcrin next.
A hunting?
Haunting?
There's no telling. I mean, any of it could be one of the artifacts we seek. You know, the artifact I'm after right now is one that allows you to take the life force of another living being. There's no telling what it could be. I also heard of. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, for artifacts, I did find that in Frostra Hold, that there was a bunch of artifacts such as like ornate weapons or gems that were being stolen, that were being heavily guarded there. So there may be one of those could have been the artifact you're seeking.
Lucico, this might also interest you. I also heard of a bunch of books that came through recently with knowledge of some kind of strange novelty item. It could also be an artifact, I don't know, but it seems that there are lots of books that are involved, and I know how much you love those. That would be in Felinora.
Where? So my hometown.
It's also get Edwin kind of gestures when you say Felinora.
Let's see. Well, Delcrin is near. Sorry,
yeah. I was gonna say Delcrin is on the way to Felinora.
Kill two birds with one stone.
So
that seems like a very.
So do we want to head to Delcrin then to find out?
I think that makes.
I'm just gonna be like over in the corner, and then I just suddenly burst out laughing. It's like, I met Callum's mom.
Oh, really?
Callum goes beat red. That's not important. I fail to see how that is relevant. Let's look at this map again.
She was sweet though.
I just glare at her if I don't say anything. Anyways, if we go to Delcrin, we can then travel to Felinor afterwards. And honestly, at least we're on the right side of the continent, because then we can either go to Frostra or Jaffrin, and without it being too crazy of a trip. It's not close, but it's better than going all the way back over to the desert.
I agree, and knowing what we've heard about this Delcrin situation and how many of us in our adventuring party favor magic, I would rather get rid of them controlling this potential artifact, or at least solve this problem as soon as possible.
My only concern is, with us being at the power fairly new to this, is it going to be dangerous for us to try and go somewhere where the magic we so heavily rely on might go out of control? Do we need to wait till we're more powerful? Do we go past Delcrin first and hit Felinora and then backtrack?
I don't think they're.
Or we could go to Hold first.
Good, where
There were
first?
weird things going there, but Frostra Hold, because it just sounds like they're stealing artifacts. Yeah, it just sounds like they're stealing weird artifacts that were being guarded. So we're not sure, but I would much rather not be worried about my magic not being able to help us.
Here's my perspective. If this is an artifact, because we don't know for sure, right, about any of this.
Mm-hmm.
If this is an artifact that can nullify magic, I feel like it's just as dangerous now as if as if we get more powerful. And I feel like right now we have the element of at least a little bit of surprise I don't know if they know what we know about them at this point. So, if we could get something as dangerous as potentially having our magic nullified taken care of, I think that would help us better in the long run.
All right.
And
I will
agree-
defer to the group's
Well, I
judgment.
think knowing.
I agree with him that,
I think
potentially getting that kind of thing out of the way earliest might be a benefit, so that way, if we're more powerful with magic later on, we don't rely on it as much now as we would then. So getting it out of the way now would be the smart play.
If we're all agreed, then do we have anything we need to stock up on before we go?
I have plenty of rations for the road.
And what about for combat? How's everyone on healing potions? I know Anya and I have healing abilities, but I don't know. At least myself, my amount of magic I can cast per day is fairly limited.
I have my own supply of potions as well.
Can I buy more crossbow?
I do not keep track of
Oh,
ammo, so that is not a thing
Oh,
you ever
okay.
have to worry about.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes.
We simply love to see it.
Look, I have a rule of thumb where if I don't want to keep track of it, I don't make the players keep track of it.
Yeah.
So, unless it's like a plot reason, like if somebody were to like steal your bolts, that would be a different story. But otherwise, no.
Well, it sounds like
All or nothing kind of thing.
Belcrane is the way to go.
How do we
Alright,
plan on
let's go,
getting
Bill.
there? Do we
just heading immediately southwest from where we're
Well,
at.
I mean, do we have the money? Are we trying to get horses, or do we think that could the blades possibly help us achieve passage there? What's our plan?
We could always go ask, though. We normally just use our own feet to travel. We're simple people.
I have no problems walking. It might also give us an opportunity to practice a little bit, get some more experience under our belt. I don't know about the rest of you. I have not been an adventurer for very long.
Mhm.
Well,
I think
this
it would-
road walking back towards Pelennora, I'm familiar with, so I'm okay with walking back.
Let's be about it then.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
go.
So you guys, that is actually going to conclude today's session.
Okay.
I didn't want to plan too far ahead because I wasn't sure how long you guys were going to be in those other places. And this gives me a chance to properly flesh out the encounter in your next place. So that is where we will end for today, with you guys, with the party, deciding to go to Delcrin when next we meet up.
Wait, I want to go to the fighting pit first.
Yeah.
I didn't smash Billy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, wait, shit, like Hulk smash, not.
No, I know.
Oh.